Good morning, everyone. Today I'll be discussing enhanced interrogation techniques with a focus on waterboarding. These controversial methods have sparked intense debates about ethics, legality, and justice. We'll explore what these techniques are, who employed them, against whom, their purpose, and their implications for justice. Let's start with the basics. Enhanced interrogation techniques are methods used to extract information from detainees by applying intense physical or psychological pressure. These methods go beyond traditional questioning, often pushing legal and ethical boundaries. Waterboarding, for instance, involves pouring water over a cloth on the detainee's face to simulate drowning. While proponents claim these techniques are necessary to protect national security, critics argue they constitute torture, violating international laws like the UN Convention Against Torture. Here's a good example. Step 1, individual is immobilized on his or her back, and what most people don't know is that they must be inclined downwards for maximum effectiveness, as gruesome as it may seem. A cloth is placed over the individual's face, water poured, water into the lungs, eliciting the gag reflex. Yes, the subject believes they're drowning and that death is imminent. Much more psychological than physical. Physical damage doesn't last very long unless it's kept up constantly and the subject does actually end up drowning. Who employed EITs? These methods are primarily employed by the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, or the CIA, following the 9/11 terrorist attacks. They were part of the broader war on terror strategy under the Bush administration. Legal justification came from the so-called torture memos issued by the U.S. Department of Justice. These documents attempted to redefine torture in ways that allowed these techniques to proceed. The CIA implemented EITs at secret detention facilities, commonly referred to as black sites. Against whom were EITs used? Enhanced interrogation techniques were used against individuals suspected of involvement in terrorism, often without formal charges or trials. Notable cases include Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, alleged to be the mastermind behind the 9/11 attacks, and Abu Zubaydah, a suspected senior al-Qaeda operative. Many of these individuals were held at secret CIA facilities in locations across the globe, from Eastern Europe to Southeast Asia. Purpose of EITs. Supporters of EITs argued that these methods were crucial for obtaining critical intelligence that could prevent further terrorist attacks. They claimed such techniques could break down detainees' psychological resistance, leading to actionable information. However, critics and later investigations questioned their effectiveness. The Senate Intelligence Committee report on torture in 2014 revealed that many of the insights gained through EITs were unreliable or already known through other means. Furthermore, these techniques undermined the moral authority of the United States. Now, let's discuss how EIT relates to justice. From a supporter's perspective, these methods were seen as a form of retributive justice, punishing those responsible for terrorism while safeguarding innocent lives. Proponents argued that the ends justified the means. But from a critical standpoint, EITs violated core principles of justice: respect for human rights, due process, and adherence to international law. Torture is explicitly forbidden by the Geneva Conventions and the UN Convention Against Torture, both of which the U.S. has signed. Moreover, using coerced testimony often leads to unreliable information, undermining legitimate judicial processes. This raises the question, can justice exist when the methods used to achieve it compromise the values it means to protect? Thank you for listening. How do I stop recording? That's how I stop.